My name is Diary, said I'm the moderator.
My name is Maya Sky and I'm the illustrator.
I'm Carolyn and I'm the summarizer.
And I'm Janicia, the quote finder and vocabulary finder.
Okay, so These Fall Apart is a poster novel written by Chinua Achebe. This novel follows the life of Anoku. The novel is split into 3 sections. The first section describing his family, the second describing the society, and third, the influence of British colonization in the Anuku tribe. Okay, so this novel highlights the fight between colonization and traditional societies. Okay, this is very important in African literature because it generated critical response and literary criticism. Okay, All Things Fall Apart is a novel about the European colonization of Africa told from a point of view of the colonized people. Okay, so it describes the arrival of white missionaries to the Ingu village and their impact on African life and society in the end of the 19th century.
Okay, so I am the summarizer and I'm going to be summarizing chapters 1 through 7. So, chapter 1 was mainly talking about how Nkwanko did not want to be anything like his father because his father was very much so in debt and he despised his father, and so he ended up becoming well respected throughout the village. On the first page in chapter 1 it says about how he was a great wrestler and he ended up being somebody that was undefeated for a many amount of years, 7 years to be exact. Also in chapter 1, it tells us that Ikemefuna was given to Nkwanko and that can be found on the last page of chapter 1, which is page 8. So moving on to chapter 2. This chapter explains how he had a son and his son was like very much so lazy, and he actually beat his son for being lazy. It said that his son did not want to do anything and he was just a disappointment. So that is chapter 2, and it also explains how Ikemefuna was given to Nkwanko's eldest wife, and that can be explained. That could be found on page 14 at the bottom of page 14, the last paragraph. Moving on to chapter 3. Chapter 3 explains some events in Nkwanko's past about how he went to go get yams and seeds to feed his family that year because it was a bad year for harvesting. So moving on to chapter 4. This chapter was about how it was about the week of peace. So in this chapter, Nkwanko broke the week of peace by beating his wife. And he beat his wife because she went to go get her hair done. And it was just tragic how he had to beat his wife. And he was a man known that once he started the beating, he could not stop. So, to pay the price for that, he had to give away a she-goat and a hen. So that was explained all throughout chapter 4. So moving on to chapter 5. So moving on to chapter 5. This was about the feast of the new yam and how it was fast approaching. They were giving thanks to the goddess, the earth goddess Anu, and that can be explained on page 36. You can find that. So the festival was 3 days away. And in this chapter, Nkwanko did something else very violent. He wanted to go hunting, but he was a really bad hunter.